Let's go, girls.
Just tell me that I can and show you things that you couldn't believe.
It is Women Talking Football, WTF, not to be confused with WFT. I said that correctly. We are the women, a pair of producers for Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Dave Campbell's Texan Live. My name is Ashley Pickle. I'm the executive producer. Sitting over there in our producer chair is our associate producer, Miss Mallory Hartley. Howdy.
Howdy. How are you?
I guess it's a good thing that we don't usually do the show at 10 a.m. because you don't look very awake.
No, I'm just tired today.
That's fair.
I feel like we've had a lot going on this week, but we're still here.
A lot going on this week, and next week will be even busier. To pull back the curtain, we're actually pre-recording this because after TFT today on Wednesday morning is when we're recording this, am heading down to Houston for meetings. Our life has turned into this weird just array of constant meetings, and it's fun, don't get me wrong. I genuinely enjoy doing it, but it's just funny when people ask me right now in this point of the year, like, oh yeah, off season, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, we're in full swing prepping for football season.
Yeah,
prepping for next year.
Yeah, it's funny, yesterday we were off site at a meeting, and I need to sit up. We were off site at a meeting, and I was like, yeah, we got to get back because you had a meeting at 1:30, and then we had an editorial meeting at 2:30, and then we had a staff meeting at 3:15. So I was like, well, yeah, we got to get back for more meetings.
Yeah, and
we have to leave this meeting to go to 3 more meetings.
That was at the point where our initial meeting yesterday started at 10 a.m., and we weren't done until like 12:30.
Yeah.
So
that was tough.
It's like, yeah, anytime my family or my boyfriend or someone calls and it's like, hey, like, what you been doing at work?
Meetings,
just meetings, and to schedule
lots of meetings,
more meetings on top of these meetings, referring back to 7 meetings ago.
Your job is to take meetings and to also schedule meetings.
Yes.
So yes,
that's what I do. It's just it's a weird life we're living right now, but it's fun. We get to meet and talk to a lot of really cool people.
Yeah.
But sometimes it gets like, oh wow, I've talked a lot in the past week.
Right, about the same things over and over again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the other thing is, when you're going through any sort of renewal meetings or pitch meetings or anything like that,
luckily it's all the same stuff.
Yeah, it's fundamentally the same stuff, but then that makes it almost even harder to keep straight what answer you got from which meeting, because they're all fundamentally about like the same concept.
Right. Also, weird. I feel like this off topic here, but every time you go down to Houston, I feel like the weather just stinks outside.
Always.
Because remember last time you went down to Houston, we were basically in a tornado.
Yes,
warning.
because I had to. The last time that I went down was in January. Y'all came down a couple days later for the staff Christmas
party
in January party that we had at the Rockets game. But yeah, I actually ended up having to leave a day early. Like, I was supposed to go down Tuesday afternoon, and I had to go down Monday night. Like,
that's right.
Drive late into the night because the weather was going to be so bad. I had meetings that I couldn't miss that next day.
Yeah, it's funny. Every time you seem to want to go down to Houston, it's Mother Nature's like,
potential hurricane weather.
Nah, you need to stay in Elville.
Yeah. Every time. But H-Town held it down. Heading down there this afternoon. Knock on wood, the weather holds off before I leave here. We're probably about to start hearing tornado sirens because that's just our luck. But
seriously.
Anyway, the other thing that we're going to talk about today is something else that is quickly approaching, which it's like a blink and here's football.
I know.
So on today's episode number 36, we will be giving you a look at the upcoming 7-on-7 SQT. If you don't know what an SQT is, that is a state qualifying tournament. So there are SQTs all the way through basically the first part of June, because then state 7-on-7 is held down in College Station. I believe it's the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th this year.
Yes, I can see my calendar right there, but I don't have it right in front of me. But that sounds right.
I can look. It's always the third weekend of June. I just never know exactly which dates. Hey, how about that? 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of June down in College Station. It's always a fun time, but you have to qualify for the state tournament. A lot of times times the SQTs, they take about 16 teams. So the top 2 end up going on. If it is a 32 team SQT, then a lot of them are 8 down in Division 3. But if it is a 24 team state qualifying tournament, then the top 3 qualify. So technically there's no rhyme or reason as to how many SQTs you have to participate in. Technically you could go to qualify in your first one and just not do it again and just practice the rest of the time. But coaches love not that coaches aren't the actual coaches of it, but they
like their kids to be involved in it.
They like their kids to be involved in it. Exactly right.
It keeps them from, getting out of shape over the summer and stuff like that. And then once they qualify, obviously they got to keep practicing for the state tournament itself. So I get that.
And you do have to pay to be in most of the qualifying tournaments. So some people go, okay, we're going to just set 3 of them, and if we make it, great. If we don't, then not. If we don't make it, then we're going to do a couple more. Just kind of depends on what you're...
Very lenient.
Yeah. And I mean, you think about it too, for some of the D3 or Division 3 or Division 2, a lot of those kids could still be in state baseball tournament, like postseason baseball, so they might not be competing at that level. It's pretty easy when it comes to the 6 like the Division 1, because there's just so many kids. So it just depends, but we want to run through and tell you there's like one more tournament actually happening this weekend, and then the bulk of everything starts in May. So Division 1, Division 2, and Division 3, we're going to show you the full schedules for the month of May. There are still state qualifying tournaments that we'll hit on a little bit later, but these are all through May. And then in the back half of the show, we are super duper excited. We've talked to a lot of high school coaches' wives, but we haven't talked to we talked to Debbie McGuire, so we've talked to one other college coach's wife. But we're going to bring on SMU head coach Rhett Lashlee, his wife Lauren Lashlee, a mother of 4, 2 sets of twins, college coach's wife. I mean, it is insane the amount of stuff that she has to juggle. So we are so incredibly excited to be talking to Lauren Lashlee, the wife of SMU head coach Rhett Lashlee, in the back half of the show. But let's go ahead and dive in to one of our favorite times of the year in 7-on-7 SQT. So we kind of broke down everything, state qualifying tournaments all the way across the state of Texas. Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. Those are broken up based on pretty much classification-wise. So we will start off with our Division 1 state qualifying tournaments that are coming up in and across the state of Texas. We will start off with this weekend is the only April SQT. So there was actually one last weekend in Melissa, and that was the first SQT of the season, and 2 qualifiers have already punched their ticket to the state 7-on-7 tournament, and that is DeSoto, who, if you will remember, is the reigning Division 1 state champion, and then Midlothian Heritage. So congratulations to those 2 programs, already the first 2 to punch their ticket to College Station in the latter half of June. But we have that this week in South Lake Carroll. Then May 12th, Cy-Fair East. And because Cy-Fair ISD has 13 different schools, they break it into an East and a West.
That's insane.
It is.
That's crazy.
So this East tournament will actually be played at Cy Creek High School. Then we've got a duo of them on May 13th. In the Ag, one of our favorite ones to attend. And then way out west, Midland, having theirs on May 13th. Then May 19th, then you come around to that Cy-Fair West. That one will be held at Cy Falls High School, rather. Then a lot of them on May 20th. This is a big SQT weekend around the state. The excellent El Paso meet will be had. Then Conroe Grand Oaks, so in the northern part of the greater Houston area. Then we have our first Austin area one in Lake Travis, and then a big one out there at Allen to keep an eye on. Then the following weekend and the last weekend of May will be Round Rock. God, that always
Round Rock Westwood.
Always messes me up. Actually, a bunch of the Pickle cousins graduated from Round Rock Westwood, so I've had that tongue twister as a part of my life for many,
You should have it down
years.
by now.
And I still don't ever. I don't know. It's the double R and the W that whoo.
It's tough.
Then May 26th, down there in Houston again in the Woodlands. Out west, Lubbock having their SQT on May 27th. And then May 27th again, the one up in the DFW is at Justin Northwest. So again, there are still ones to be followed after that on into June, but these are all of them through the month of May. Moving on to Division 2. We will start off with the McLennan County one. That one is in Lorena, or at Lorena. May 13th, Kilgore. May 19th, the Bulldog Meet, which is hosted by my ever so loved darling Hitchcock Bulldogs. May 20th, Anna will have theirs kind of in the northern part of the DFW. Then out east on May 20th. Like we said, May 20th is like mega weekend in every single division.
Ton of them.
But Tyler Chapel Hill hosting one out east. May 20th also is the Roughnecks SQT. That's out in West Columbia. Then here with brand new head coach Marcus Schultz, Ponder, the Lions, will be hosting theirs kind of similarly up in the northern part of North Texas. Then there's the Texans Meet. That's down there in Central Texas in Wimberley. Then the Blue Jays of Needville down there in kind of the Golden Triangle-ish area. Then way up north, not necessarily Panhandle North, but a little bit more south than that of the north, you could say. Graham, they'll be hosting it on May 27th. Another Central Texas meet, the Bulldogs of Burnett, hosting it down there in the Hill Country. And then in rounding out our Division 2 down on May 27th, Hampshire Finette will be hosting theirs. Again, we're running through these now, but if you want to see every single SQT, how large they are, and how many qualifiers can come out of those, texasfootball.com/7on7.
We've got you covered.
And last, but certainly not least, Division 3. These are our smallest schools that play. Not a lot of, you don't usually see 6-man teams play, but this is more of kind of the 2A divisions. May 20th, Stamford will be having theirs. Also May 20th, the Lions of Dublin will be hosting there. Then there's a Cougars SQT on the 20th. That one hosted by Wallace Brazos. And then on the 27th, the following Cougars meet is actually at Rosebud Lot down there. And then May 27th, again, finishing out those three, is a meet at Lindsay and then one in Sudan. So, texasfootball.com/7on7. We will have everything covered for you there. When you actually type in 7on7 and go to the hub page, what will pull up is qualifying tournaments, which are the ones that we just went through, but the full list of them again. Also, if you're a coach looking to put your team into one of those meets, they're filling up quickly, so I would definitely get on that now if you haven't already. That being said, the host coach's email is listed on our state qualifying tournaments pages. We have the rules. We have a way for you to submit results. Anytime that you can submit results is a huge help to us. Our Canadian buddy Matt Stepp is working the phones constantly over the weekends to update people on the SQT results, but those are very, very important. And then state tournament hotels, what you need to do to get into the state tournament, past champions, general information, everything that you could possibly need to know. texasfootball.com/7on7. It's one of our favorite. We always talk about that. We genuinely love SQTs.
I was just about to say, I think Matt Stepp is coming back next week or the
next
week
Sunday.
after.
I think he'll be here Sunday.
Sometime next week / early. To go to a couple SQTs, and I'm sure after magazine season we'll get out to a couple of them too. Arlington always has two of them. They have a really early one, and then they've got a really late one in June, right before the state tournament. So I would love to get out to Arlington to see my Colts try and punch their ticket to College Station. So.
Yeah, they have as we mentioned, they have the one on May 13th, and then
we went to, which one did we go to last year?
It doesn't look like they have two this year, but they definitely
they just
did.
Have one.
No, they do the Colt Classic on June 7th.
The Colt Classic. That's what it's called.
There
yeah,
you go.
maybe I'll try and get out to that one at some point if you want to go with me.
Yeah, June 2nd. That could definitely work.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything is listed on there. The sizes of the SQT, the qualifiers that advance out of that. And then obviously when it comes to June, the entire Dave Campbell's crew, we load up the swag wagon, knock on wood. We got it serviced this year, so we won't break down on the way to state 7-on-7 like we did last year.
You just pulled out a deep memory that I did not want to think about.
Man, I got to tell you, deep into June and being stranded in the swag wagon, it was kind of toasty out there. Thank goodness we were at a very, very well-known Texas gas station where very friendly people helped us out some.
Well, heck, you helped us out a ton in that situation. You took the reins on this. I just sat back and watched and cheered you on from the sideline.
Okay, look, I will give Greg Powers and I put on our old country hats and we put them on, but I will say when the rest of love y'all to death, but when the rest of our pool of trying to fix thing is you, Greg Tepper, and Ishmael Johnson, my confidence level, I remember sitting there and I looked around and I was like, all right, time to take action, fight or flight type of thing. I was like, I got 3 little birdies back here. Someone's got to put their dukes up,
You looked at Tepper and you said, go inside and get me some Coke.
Yeah.
for the whatever you did.
Yeah. If you have our battery was it was corroded at that point. And most people know that if you have a corroded battery, the easiest way to get the corrosion off of it is to pour a bottle of Coca-Cola on it.
Yeah. Tepper was like, why do you need Coca-Cola right now? And you were like, just be quiet and go get it for me. Do you want to get out of here?
Yeah, I went in and then I was like, all right, while we're waiting, I'm gonna pop up the hood, and I instantly noticed the corrosion, and it was like, okay, this is at least we can get down there and see really how corroded this is, or maybe after the corrosion's gone, we can just tighten it a little bit. And I text Tepper because he was already inside, and I was like, hey, grab me a bottle of Coke. And I was like, did you not see my text message? And he was like, no. And I was like, I need Coke. And he's like, can you not go get that yourself? Why? You were just in there. You bought a Dr. Pepper. And I was like, listen here, Coppell. Go and get me some Coke. I got to fix the battery.
Yeah, I still apologize to this day. I was absolutely, utterly useless in that situation.
It was fine. We got it. Well, and I was like, I need Coke and zip ties. And then all of a sudden,
zip ties, that was the other thing.
This super nice guy who is a tow truck driver, he came over and he's like, y'all need some help? And we were like, yeah. I was like, I think the battery is just too corroded. And he goes, I need Coke and zip ties. I didn't say a word. I just crossed my arm and nodded my head. And I was like,
victory.
Try me.
Come at me. Try me again.
So anyway, we actually just picked up the swag wagon from the dealership after getting a full just maintenance, everything done to make sure that this does not happen again. So shout out to our boss for sending the swag wagon off to the beauty shopping spa to get her refresh done.
She got a full-on facial, massage, everything.
Yeah, she had a spa weekend. It wasn't just I'm on vacation, I'm gonna get the one massage I get a year. She was like, hit me up with that membership. So anyway, all right. Well, there we go. Upcoming SQTs. We love this season, but stay tuned to Matt Stepp's Twitter. Stay tuned to the Dave Campbell's Twitter. Stay tuned to texasfootball.com/7on7. We will have all the information that you need. All right. Now let's hear a word from our friends at VCR Now. Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texas loves doing business with fellow Texans. VCR Now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful, long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW.
Thank you to our friends at VCR Now, like always. All right, as Pickle mentioned, we are currently joined by the Queen of Dallas herself. She's basically woman. She is Miss Lauren Lashlee, the wife of SMU head coach Rhett Lashlee. Lauren, thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that introduction. That was really sweet.
Absolutely. I mean, just by researching stuff about you and Coach Lashlee, I was like, man, she seriously does it all.
Oh.
You are seriously superwoman.
I don't know about that, but that's very kind. Thank you for that compliment.
Yeah. So when we have new guests on like yourself, we kind of like to throw it over to you and, kind of hype yourself up a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, kind of, your career and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, been married to Rhett for actually 16 years this coming Friday. So we're about to celebrate that anniversary. And then we've got 4 kiddos. Not superwoman, but more survivor most days. I'll just say that.
Right.
Lots of juggling of little people. But been a coach's wife for, I think it's 15 seasons now. So just, we've been on a journey. It's been an incredible one, and many moves, several states, many homes. And it's just been really cool. And I'm a stay-at-home mom to these awesome kiddos, and so they just kind of keep me busy and moving along. So, yeah.
Now, you're back in Dallas because you were here
Yes.
originally back in 2018, 2019 when Coach Lashlee was the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at SMU. But now you guys are back. He's at the helm, of course, at SMU. So how are you guys feeling after year one?
Yeah, so really good. Just excited. We've got some momentum going into year 2. Year 1 there's some learning and some growing pains. And I remember Rhett, when he first took the job, it was like, he felt like he was kind of drinking out of a fire hydrant, which is so true because just stuff is just coming at you and you're kind of learning as you go. And, but now I feel like year 2, we've got a little bit more of an understanding and just kind of how to navigate everything. And a staff, we have an incredible staff, coaches, their wives, kids. Really couldn't ask for a better staff around us and to support us. They really kind of are the key to all of this. So we're really, really blessed by that. So we're just excited, moving into year 2.
And you mentioned it a little bit earlier. You've got some kiddos at home, 2 sets of twins. So 2 boys and 2 girls. My question is, and I'm sure you get this question all of the time, what are the keys to surviving that during football season when you see your husband maybe a couple hours during the day?
Yeah. I kind of go into game mode, like my own game mode.
Whole game plan written out.
Yeah. Like he knows, like he'll come home and like I have a system, I'm kind of type A, routine oriented. And so, from the moment the boys were born, I was kind of like, I had like a timetable for everything.
Right.
And I've kind of loosened up, as you become a parent and you have a couple more kids and you kind of loosen up in those ways. But when we go into football season, I definitely have some structure and also asking for help. Like at first I was like, I can do everything. I got this down. But as the kids get older and, you kind of go, hey, actually, I might need some help. So getting really good babysitters, sometimes having to run them to and from places because I can't be everywhere at once.
For sure.
Like you said, we've got 4 kids and so many different things. Like right now we're in football, baseball, soccer, gymnastics. So it's just, just constantly running around. All good things, just busy. So
now, do you get to travel at all during the football season? A couple of those away games in the American, you're going way out east. Do you get to, how many games a year typically do you get to go to, I guess, on the road?
So as a coordinator's wife, it just kind of depended on where we were. Kind of if there was space on the plane or on the bus, depending on whether we were driving or flying. As a head coach's wife, I went to all the games last year, and our boys got to go to one of them with us, which was a lot of fun. But I try to go to all of them unless, something crazy comes up where I've got a sick kid or something like that. Of course, I would stay home. But so far, I've gone to all of them.
Now, which is great because I feel like a lot of people don't have the opportunity to do that. So it's super exciting to hear you say that. Now, another question that we ask a lot of coaches' wives, especially in the high school ranks, is it's really tough to make time for, each other during the football season. So, how do you guys really make time? And even right now, it counts too during spring football. It's such a busy time. Do you guys set aside, maybe once a week, once every couple weeks to go on a date night or something? What does that kind of look like during the football season?
Yeah. So every week we have a date night. So typically it's Thursdays, but this year we chose Wednesday nights because he has the radio show on Wednesdays. And so we just go straight from the radio show to our date night. And we actually have a really cool little spot just down the road from our house. And so we always go to the same restaurant every week. We know the waitresses, they see us coming, so they kind of expect us. But it's really good for us. It kind of helps us, stay connected, and just find time for just us. And it's honestly been the biggest blessing. And whether you're a coach or not a coach, I would encourage that for your marriage just in general, because it's just busy, with work or kids' schedules, just to find that one window of time.
Definitely.
Just to kind of set aside for you is just imperative.
Definitely. I completely agree with that. If you had to describe Coach Lashlee's demeanor on the sideline versus just being typical old dad at home, is there a big difference? Is there that off switch that he can kind of turn on and off, whether that being on the sidelines versus at home?
Honestly, I would say he's pretty consistent with who he is, on and off the field. He is just really passionate. He's fun. He's high energy, outgoing, just really good, people skills. And honestly, I feel like on the field, he's a really good teacher. He's passionate. Yes, there's moments where we joke, goes into Hulk mode, but no, I would just say he pretty much is consistent who he is here at home too. He's an amazing dad, very hands-on. When he walks in the door, he's here, he's present. And our kids adore him. Right. So, but he's the fun parent. I always joke, but he walks in the door and he's like, let's get in the golf cart. Let's go to, our kids are obsessed with going to the gas station and getting candy or something. And he's, it's one of the first things he does every week. He's like, hey, gas station. And, they're all excited and out the door. So
awesome.
I'd just say he's consistently just fun and passionate on and off the field.
Now, I wanted to ask you, I didn't actually text you about this because I kind of wanted to put you on the spot here. Now, when I was looking things up about you, I had come across something about when he was at Auburn, you guys were living in Alabama. You had participated in some kind, you're a big car girl, I've kind of gathered. Do you know what I'm talking about? This event, this car racing event, you beat Coach in something. Talk a little bit about that. I'm a little curious to know.
So I think it was in Montgomery. It's a motor speedway.
Yes.
And you get to go and literally get in a real race car and go on a real race track. I thought it was gonna just be this, kind of rinky-dink deal, but it's legit. Now you do have a race car driver in the car with you. So that kind of makes you feel better, but no, I'm super competitive. He's super competitive, but, I was like, oh, he's going down. He's going down. So I got in the car and I told the driver that was in there with me, I was like, we're winning today. And because there were several people throughout the day who had driven. And I was like, we're just going to win the day. Like, I just want to beat everybody, not just him, but I want to beat everybody. And I did. I got the highest time for that day.
That's amazing. How fast was it? Do you remember?
But Rhett will beat me at just about everything. So whenever I have a win, I'm like, oh.
You got to celebrate it, right?
Yeah. Hang it over his head a little bit.
Absolutely. I remember seeing that and I was like, man, I have to ask her about this when she comes on. That is super, super cool. Well, before we let you go, I've got one more question for you. What is, to you, what is the best thing about being a coach's wife, in your opinion?
I would say just all the people you meet kind of along the way. You're just have the opportunity, and kind of how you look at it. It's your perspective. Like, you have an opportunity just to meet different people, different cultures and backgrounds. We lived in Miami for 2 years, and it was just a really cool experience just to let our kids be introduced to different cultures. And just from Miami to Connecticut, like, that's a big jump. Right. So I would just say the people really are the thing that make all the difference. I have friends pretty much all over the country now, and it's just cool to look back and see just how these opportunities to move allow you to bring different people into your life. So another thing that is the best part about being a coach's wife is also the coaching families you meet along the way. They become family, and some of the wives that I've met along the way are going to be lifelong friends for me. So that has been a huge blessing in my life. And then finally, just watching Rhett walk in his calling. It's just been an honor to be by his side and watch him do what he loves. And it's just been a really cool part of this journey.
And of course, we've had your husband in here one too many times. So hopefully very soon we can actually get you in our studio to do a live interview. Hopefully very soon.
I would love that. Thank you.
It's Miss Lauren Lashlee. Lauren, thank you so much again for hopping on with us today during such a busy, busy time in y'all's life. And then, of course, we wish you and the Mustangs the best of luck this season.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you to Lauren for hopping on today. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Mallory Hartley. We will see you guys next week, next Thursday at 2 p.m. on Women Talking Football.